Hello, I am Luke, the Green Pit Viper Ranger. Out of character, my name is Joe.
I'm Charlie, the Yellow House Cat Ranger. Out of character in real life, my name is James.
Bienvenido, Power Bottoms. I am out of character. I am Juan, and in game I am Javier.
I think we can use that one.
We can use that one. I don't have to edit that one. Anyway.
And I am the DM. I play everyone else. My name is Jay.
Next, I will be starting next one with the slurp now.
Oh my god, no. We start off last episode of Power Rangers Dimension Storm with Luke having a nightmare. Back in that position again where Luke is just kind of like walking around in his dreamscape, and then Psycho Red appears and they begin to fight. While they are fighting, the Red Turbo Ranger arrives to assist Luke, as he did the previous time, but he gets thrown to the side, and another Ranger appears, and this Ranger is like a silhouette. You can't tell what color he is, like anything that is like super defining. The only consistencies amongst this Ranger, as this like shadow is like shifting back and forth, is the shield and the fact that he's carrying some sort of bladed weapon, whether it be a dagger or a sword. It's some sort of bladed weapon, and he's got a shield on. So this Shadow Ranger and Psycho Red begin fighting, and he is about to make the final blow on Psycho Red, and his mask is like shattered, and Luke can see through Psycho Red's mask and see Marcus underneath. And he's bleeding and he's all sorts of beat up. And so Luke, in a moment of panic, like runs to go help him. And the Red Turbo Ranger tries to like grab Luke and stop him, but Luke gets out of his grasp and goes to help Marcus. And then he gets grabbed by the throat by the shifting Shadow Ranger and gets like lifted up in the air. And out of this shape, the Death Ranger forms, and the shifting one steps out of the back of him and continues towards Marcus. So it was really like kind of the Death Ranger that stopped him. And he kind of is talking to Luke, talking about how it's inevitable for Marcus to die. The death of a killer killed by someone more ferocious than him. And that this is his fate. And that Luke cannot stop it. And that being said, he kind of makes a point of, is this something you can do again? Can you watch your friend die again, Luke? And he mentions that Luke has locked away in his brain who actually killed Marcus, at least his version of Marcus, because like he's kind of sealed it off due to the trauma there, and the Death Ranger reminds him that it was in fact Dark Honda who fought and killed Marcus that day. And then Luke kind of snaps out of the nightmare. We cut to Javi in the training room, probably an hour or two later. He's in there, and he's actually fighting Psycho Red in the simulation. And Luke comes in right as the end of that fight's happening because he wants to kind of blow off some steam. And Javi's in there. So the two of them decide to spar, and Luke ends up winning. And they sort of have a bit of a heart-to-heart conversation. Javi actually tells Luke about like losing his younger brother, in like some gang violence type stuff that was happening, and he confesses that like he got revenge. He killed the guy that killed his brother, and they have like a real touching heart-to-heart moment. And afterwards they, both leave the training room to go get breakfast, and the others have gotten up by now. We cut to Charlie, who wakes up, and he goes and checks in with like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because they stayed the night on board the ship, and they're kind of chit-chatting and everything. And they come to get breakfast, and we have a lovely time eating breakfast. Hayakawa and Donatello were like making food for everybody. Charlie has the idea to make a pizza omelet, so that's kind of fun. Javier eats some of the accursed shark meat, and gets sicky, so that's great. And then Orion comes in, and he and Splinter are talking about maybe Michelangelo coming with us because of their current situation and the fact that, like, they had a bit of like a weird moment the other day, and Orion was able to help them out. Um, and we decide, like, hey, I think it'd be important if Mikey was included on this decision. Let them be their own person. And so we are going to come back to that later, kind of talking about that. Orion brings up what was going on with the Utron pyramid that we found in New York, and he lets us know that Ivan Ooze is like what is within, and is being contained within. He's serving out like a life sentence for his various crimes against the galaxy. And that Al has contacted the Utron Council to come and like remove the pyramid, and that the turtles are going to help escort it and everything, and that's going to be in a couple days' time. And we would help them, but we need to leave soon for the new coordinates because that grid fluctuation is getting worse and it's very dark. So, we're kind of briefed on that, but we have a little bit of time before the coordinates are completely like set. So, Orion is like, "Hey, go have your last little hurrah before we head off into this next mission because this is going to be rough for everybody." So we go down back to New York, and Turtles go back to the command center to kind of talk with Al about the whole escort mission, and the boys hang out with April and Casey and go to the Statue of Liberty and check that out. And then we go to Central Park and we play Ultimate Frisbee and have a fun time. And then after we're done playing, Javier ends up running into his younger brother, or at least this world's version of him. His name is Danny. And Javi kind of freaks out a little bit, kind of has a bit of a moment. And we're able to kind of calm him down and get him redirected and everything. And we just decide to like go back to the ship after that because Javi needs a minute. And so everyone kind of takes some time for themselves because we still have a little bit. Javier goes to the training room and kind of like goes through a simulation of a memory with his mom and his brother because they're able to kind of tap into our memories in there and like run simulations of those. So Javier does that. Meanwhile, Luke goes for a ride on his motorcycle because he hasn't gotten to do that in a hot minute, and he gets the boys some souvenirs from New York and everything, and Charlie's just kind of hanging out. We then get together and discuss the Michelangelo situation and whether we feel like they need to come with us or not. And we also talk about how Jiraiya is wanting to stay on Earth in New York City because he's feeling kind of hesitant about leaving. And he lets us know that, like, he wants to stay because he's hoping that the rest of his team is maybe on that Earth. But after some conversation, we were able to convince Jiraiya like he's probably got a better chance of finding his teammates if he actually stays with us because the likelihood of them being on the same Earth as him is very rare. It's a lot. It's pretty unlikely. Um, and with the whole Michelangelo situation, we decide that we are going to go talk to Mikey and get a better idea of how they're feeling about it before we make a final decision. So we go do that, and Charlie is able to kind of get Mikey to open up a bit, and they confess that they're afraid to leave their brothers, that they've never like been anywhere without them, and so we decide that Mikey's best place is with their brothers, with their family, um, and that it's we shouldn't separate them, especially if Mikey is feeling afraid of being separated from them. So we let Zordon know about this decision, and he kind of gives us some words of wisdom before we leave, and then we get back to the ship and we tell Orion about our decision, and then we prepare to embark on our journey to the next set of coordinates. So it's about a week's journey, and while we are traveling, we do some training to get stronger and bond a bit as a team. We arrive to the coordinates of E3-I46, and Orion briefs us a bit on what we are going to be getting into. We are told that this is not, in fact, Earth, as we had previously thought we would be going to. It is a planet called Miranoi, that Orion knows of. And this is actually, or at least one version of Miranoi, or several versions of Miranoi, is where Orion actually left his powers for the Quasar Sabers that Rangers and other timelines have found or been gifted to become the Lost Galaxy Rangers via the lights of Orion and that sort of thing. However, this version of Marinoi is all kinds of wonked, and that there is a crashed Terra Venture um, on the planet's surface. So we get some survival packs for the journey, and we prepare ourselves as best as possible, and we get dropped down onto Marinoi. And we begin trekking in the direction of Terra Venture because that is where the core of the dark energy is coming from, is somewhere inside Terra Venture. On our way there, we're kind of skirting around a big lake, and Luke spots some movement in the tree line that looks kind of maybe humanoid, so we're definitely not alone on this planet. There's something else with us. Whether it be friend or foe is yet to be discovered. So once we get around the lake, we do spot some tracks, but it's hard to tell much about it. And Charlie senses that there are several energy signatures around us, like several thousand just throughout the entire mountains in this area. So we decide to try to maybe investigate some of those, and we come across a cave, and we make our way into the cave, and that is where we left off on last episode of Power Rangers Dimension Storm.
All right. And with that, we continue back. We left off. Y'all had entered the cave. Bye. Just go and get rid of that real quick. So yeah, y'all are in the cave. Y'all come in, you can see, the stuff you'd be able to see within your eyesight. It's got water. There's holes from the top coming through the cave, but that had underneath the big kind of like mountain hillish thing. So at the top somewhere there are a bunch of holes that go down deep into the cavern, in random places. And what are y'all doing?
I wonder if the auras that I sense are the people that live here on Miranoi. Maybe they've had to come live down in the caves to hide out from whatever that dark energy is. I'm just hopeful, guys.
Potentially, that might be what it is, but I don't know. Looking around, does it look like there's been much traffic in and out of this cave? Does it look lived in?
No, it feels like it's been abandoned for at least over 10 years.
Luke's gonna point that out to Charlie. That
That's not good.
it doesn't. I mean, they might have been here at one point, but this doesn't feel like an active
It's just so
place.
strange because I sensed auras like under the mountains and in the mountains and stuff.
I mean, would you like to look again?
Yeah, I'll do another aura check.
You look around and you start looking. They're nowhere in front of you, left or right. You can't see anything. And then you look down and you realize they're all coming from beneath you.
The auras that I'm sensing, that Tabby's sensing, it's all coming from below us. Do you think that we can find our way further down if we go through this cave?
I mean, we could probably find our way down. It's just a question of do we want to?
Well,
Charlie, even though y'all are not quite inside the evil aura that you felt coming from Terra Venture, now that you're in this cave, you do feel that the auras that you're sensing are it's like they don't really have a soul.
right. It's like it's not like a warm aura. It's not like a blues. It's not dark. It's not evil like red. It's just like
Specifically green auras, green hollowed auras.
Orion wants us to get as close to Terra Venture as possible, right? Could this cave just slow us down, or should we? It's up to you, Luke. You're the leader. What do you think?
I think whatever's here isn't going anywhere. And I think for the time being, we should potentially redirect and start heading farther into the woods to try to get to Terra Venture. We can come back and investigate this maybe later
Right.
if that's what you two would like to do. I don't want to just leave this, but I don't think it's our priority at the moment.
While you two are talking, Javier's just been throwing rocks in the water.
Do you have
He's,
any opinion either way, Javi?
Riley picks up rocks and starts throwing in the water too.
nah, fool, I'll follow your lead.
So I only did this because y'all started throwing rocks in the water together, throwing rocks, making splashes, potentially making sound, depending on how hard you throw. Maybe you skim it across the water, whatever. You're making some noise.
Yeah.
And as you're making noise, you hear coming from this direction on the map where that hole is. And for reference, yes, it appears to be like higher up and a part of like a hole. But for this, you can't really see from where you are, but this is just a hole in the ground. But you'll start to hear fluttering of wings.
Maybe that aura that I detected wasn't the survivors, but what if below us are just billions of Stingwingers? I look like I'm real scared.
I think we need to make an exit. Luke's gonna carefully start backing up towards the exit.
I'm also backing up. Bobby, let's go.
So you're all leaving?
Yes.
Quietly, yes.
Javi?
Yeah, I heard about the fluttering, which is why I was heading towards it.
Please do not.
I believe that the Stingwingers are more powerful than Putty Patrollers.
I don't think the Stingwingers know this, but Javier is forklift certified. They can't beat him.
Are we all three leaving, or
He's just gonna follow your lead.
okay?
Okay, back to the outside. I was about to say, I would have Javier roll to see how long he lasts. That's all he would get. So y'all are back outside.
All right. So which direction would take us up and around closer to Terra Venture?
Don't we have to go like east?
So yeah, y'all would just keep continuing going this way. Y'all were heading this path to the right side of the map as y'all had seen the cave and stopped, and Charlie had detected more of those life presences. Y'all would continue to go as you get to the outside of Terra Venture.
But if we were to scale this wall, could we possibly get there faster?
Well, no, the wall is. It's there, but scaling it isn't going to make you get there faster. As y'all are moving, who is taking point? Who's in the front?
Probably
Luke.
Okay. As y'all start heading out, y'all walk for about 15 more minutes, and y'all can see Terra Venture clearly as you've gotten closer. It's towering over you almost at this point. Luke, being ahead of everyone else, and Charlie sensing the danger and all that, I would say y'all are trying to be pretty alert of your surroundings.
Yes.
And y'all are probably walking slower as y'all get to Terra Venture as the evil pressure starts to get to you. As you walk forward, as you continue to walk towards Terra Venture, you start to move your right foot forward as you continue your pace. And as you walk, making into your next into your left foot, it feels like you walked through something. And as you walk through, you are now cold. And now you can see what Terra Venture really looks like. There is a darkness. It was day when you approached it, but now it's dark.
When Luke passes through that threshold, do me or Javi notice anything different about Luke's physical form or anything? Or
here's where it gets interesting. Luke stops for a second as you see Luke go forward, and then Luke's just like, "Hey guys, it looks like we're getting pretty close. Just probably a few more minutes, and we'll be trying to figure out how to get our way in. So let's keep going."
You say that as Luke?
Yes.
Okay, we trust this. That sucks. I'm so scared. Oh my god. Okay.
Javier's just gonna be like, "Why are you talking like that, fool?"
Sure thing,
So
leader.
here's the thing. Charlie, your cat does not like this though. Javier, would you say that you would just continue to walk, no problem?
I mean, Javi immediately was like, why are you talking like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So both of you stop when you hear Luke say that, and with Charlie's cat not being okay with it.
Tabby like appears and is hissing, kind of.
Yeah. So something's wrong with Luke, but Luke is just like, why are y'all stopping?
Tabby, calm down. I know that it's the dark energy is beyond is right there, but that's Luke. Like, what's going on? Calm down.
Can I pull out the blicky and point it at Luke?
Javi, what are you doing?
Something don't feel right, man.
Luke's just like, what are you doing?
Javi, Tabby, chill out. What is going on?
Now we switch back to Luke's perspective.
Do I notice anything that's happening behind me? Like,
If you would probably turn around and try to look back, and you would see that all of Miranoi is dark, as y'all were being lied to. And now your friends seem to be talking to you, and Javier's pointing a gun at you.
I raise my hands.
I'm gonna be trying to push Javi's arm down, but obviously I'm not so strong as him. So
Yeah, you can raise your arms, but they don't see that. Anything you're doing, they don't see.
Yeah, Luke's gonna tentatively step forward with his left foot over where he thinks the threshold is.
You touch an invisible wall.
Luke's gonna put his hands up in front of him and kind of feel around. It's solid.
It is solid, and they are still talking to you as if Javier's probably like, I don't know, something's not right, and apparently you're doing something that you're not aware of.
Okay, wherever Javi's pointing the gun, I'm gonna step to the side so I don't get shot accidentally, and
Okay.
I'm gonna look at where he seems to be pointing the gun. There's nothing there, right?
Nope.
Okay, Luke's just gonna stand a little bit to the side and watch this play out because he can't do anything otherwise.
Back to Javi and Charlie. What are y'all doing? Luke is just standing there like, what's going on?
I put my arm in front of Charlie and kind of like push him behind me.
Okay, as he's doing this, because I'm glad you're actually doing that because I was about to probably do something very stupid. But I would like to roll sort of a smarts check of like maybe an alertness check because right now I don't know. I'm assuming that both Javi and Tabby. Well, I think Tabby is just mad because of the dark energy within Terra Venture. So I don't think that Tabby's hissing at Luke. I don't see that. Well, I'm going to roll an alertness to see if I can realize that, if that's okay.
Yeah. So it's a high difficulty, but you have an advantage because you have Tabby. If Javier was to do this, Javier would have a snag.
Okay, shit. Okay.
Wow.
You're not quite sure why Tabby is hissing.
I'm still a little confused, but
you think it's
because of that, I think I'm not going to make any moves. I'm gonna kind of let Javi push me to the side, and I'm just gonna kind of continue to observe rather than because I was about to just run through, and it was either run through or just tell Javi and Tabby they're being crazy. Right now, I'm just gonna be quiet and not do anything.
Okay, so Javi, what are you doing?
He's just waiting to see what this Luke does.
Luke is just standing there like, are we gonna keep moving? Are we done here? We're right here.
What do you think is going on? What do we do? Even if that isn't,
I don't know, man, but something ain't right. That doesn't seem like Luke.
Even if that isn't, we gotta push on, don't we? It's the mission is to figure out what's going on inside Terra Venture.
At that, Javier's just gonna slowly walk up to this Luke.
You slowly walk up and you experience the same thing. Luke is just standing off to the side, not where you saw Luke. As soon as you start walking towards Luke, it's like going through like a water ripple effect, and then Luke is to your left because Luke stepped aside. And now you now see that Miranoi is completely shrouded in darkness, and Luke is just standing there like confused as much as you are.
He's gonna like immediately aim at Luke and be like, "How'd you get over there?"
I literally just watched you do that whole thing. That wasn't me. I'm assuming you saw some version of me, but this planet's fucking with us.
So, Javi, if you look back, Charlie's just standing there, and now Charlie, you see Javier walk over. It's just like sticks his gun to Luke's chest. Oh, I guess you are Luke. All right, I guess we are good to go.
I go, oh, thank goodness. I thought something really dark was happening. And then I go, come on, Tabby, it'll be okay. We'll get through it. And then I walk through.
You go to walk towards them, and you hit a wall. You hit an invisible wall, and then your friends before you disappear.
Oh god. Do we see Charlie hit the wall?
Yes.
Oh no. Luke immediately goes over to where Charlie is and like bumps it. Does anything happen on Charlie's side?
He doesn't hear anything.
Oh god.
I'm looking around like I start screaming. Well, not screaming, but I start. No shit.
Like-
what do I do? He kind of starts. He just kind of. He. Oh, Tabby's trying to keep me calm.
Yeah.
I'm about to panic. Shit. Can I do a survival check to just look around to see if I can spot anything or?
If you want to, yes. Give me like a 12. No, 13. 12 or 13. Either one will do. Charlie, you don't really see
A lot. I'm scared.
anything that you can do really, or anything that really could help you. But it doesn't take a lot to see that or hear the fluttering.
Adam jumps out, and then I pull out my picture of my friends, and I look at it, and I go, "Hang in there, guys." Oh, can I morph?
Do you want to risk that?
Oh shit, the energy can't give off energy fields.
Can we see these Stingwingers appearing behind Charlie?
Did they spot me, or can I try to hide?
You can try to hide, but there are a ton of them pouring out. I'm going to stop at so many, but there is a lot coming out.
Okay.
Do we
would it
see this?
hide?
Yes.
All right, Javier's gonna start trying to like banging on this like invisible wall.
We're using
Yeah.
infiltration as basic stealth.
I'm gonna leave the difficulty as 10. Just tell me if I pass or fail. Oh, I did it with a snag. Fuck it. It should have a snag anyway, right?
Yeah, if you don't have anything in and that's a snag.
You
No,
could just do something.
that is not high enough. You probably try to go into this tree, probably climb up it, hide in it, and then going within the branches of the tree, and then underneath you start to get swarmed by Stingwingers.
Do we know if the wrist communicators give off energy signals or not when used?
They could potentially. You were warned to not morph. You weren't told really to not keep within communication. But anything can happen. I'm not going to tell you that you're safe. But it's also just like in character, you're seeing Charlie try to run away and starting getting surrounded by a ton of Stingwingers.
Yeah, Luke is like looking. There's just the wall. It's just the wall, and we can't get through, right?
Yep. Y'all can bang on it, whatever. Nothing happens.
Luke fucking dings his communicator.
Who's he trying to reach?
Hayakawa.
Instead of Hayakawa, you get Orion. Yes.
Orion?
What's going on?
Shit's fucked. We are stuck on the other side of some sort of threshold thing, and Charlie's on the other side, and he's fucking surrounded. We need I can't get through. Javier and I are stuck on the other side, and we can't get through.
Javier's gonna also yell at it and be like, and say, just beam him back up to the ship.
Can you do that? Can you take him? Can you beam him back up?
The darkness. Your signals are coming through pretty rough. What exactly did y'all step into?
There's some sort of force field. It was invisible, but the Miranoi does not look at all how it looked through the. It's dark here. It's dark and it is cold.
This is very concerning. I just have a question for you, Luke. How fucked do you think you are? Because I'm gonna tell you something. You royally fucked up. You fell for the oldest trick in the book. It's almost funny. I could laugh.
Luke's face goes white and he lets go of his communicator. Like he lets go of the button. Then he looks at Javier.
Javier's gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, what was that? Who was that?
That was an Orion. That wasn't Orion. They know we're here now. Shoot it! Shoot the fucking barrier!
He's gonna start unloading at the barrier.
As y'all are using your blasters to shoot at the barrier, nothing happens. But then your communicators come back on. Electronics. Tricky thing about electronics. It doesn't matter when it's magic. I hope your friend is sturdy. I will be seeing you very soon. And the Stingwingers continue to approach Charlie.
Can I try to mammoth stampede through the barrier?
Hey, do you guys not trust me to handle this? What's going on?
With this many, really?
There's like fucking 30 of them. There's 30 of them. You
Have
are
you ever
one
played
man.
They Are Billions?
Also, Luke's gonna stop Javi from doing anything else at the moment. He's trying to think.
They already know we're here. Why are you stopping me?
You're not gonna get through it. It's not the fucking gun couldn't get. It's not gonna get through it. We're not gonna get through it. Not with anything that we have on us right now. Just give me a minute to think.
So, Rogue, while y'all are having a stress stroke, these stingers are going to get closer.
Listen, guys, I think I came to the wrong woods.
One tries to grab Charlie, and Charlie turns into a log.
Oh my god, he's a ninja, that's right.
And the Stingwingers start to scour the area. They have high senses, and they are currently in massive numbers. They are going to use a alertness check, and they get a good bump since there are literally probably over at least 50 outside right now. Let's see if they can find where Charlie is. Where are you at, Charlie?
I'm really just in that fucking tree. Like
You're still in the tree?
Yeah. The one
So they all start to surround the tree, flying up in the tree, getting you.
I'm swatting at them like, ah!
They are going to attempt to grapple you. They do not seem to be trying to kill you currently.
Oh, it's hugs they want?
Are you morphed or are you in your normal form,
I'm
normal state?
unmorphed.
Okay. You are gonna have to make. You're gonna give me a finesse. You can use your specialization escape artist. You're just gonna roll, and we're gonna see if you can get higher than they do. You got a 15. Okay. Let's see how they do.
Leave me alone, you giant bugs. They got me.
They rolled high, so you are now grabbed by the Stingwingers. They start to fly you out of the tree. Are you going to put up a fight?
I'm scared that I will fall from the tree. They'll let me
Okay.
go and I'll fall. So I'm kind of not putting up a fight.
So as they pick you up, they fly above the tree, decent height, and they get a little bit higher, and they fly straight into the barrier. And as you go through, you see.
Oh shit! Do I go through the barrier or do I fall because they go through and I don't? Okay,
both of you go through the barrier. And as you go through, everything turns dark. It's cold. You see Luke and Javier down there. And Luke and Javier, y'all see as Charlie is carried through the barrier by a ton of Stingwingers.
Save me!
Oh fuck! I mean, at least he's back.
Can we try to jump and reach them? How high are they?
They are high.
High?
They are like above tree line height, getting a little bit higher as they start to take them.
I'm just totally like limp, just letting them carry me. Like I'm not fighting at all. I'm so scared right now.
Luke's running after them.
I'm running behind Luke.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing we can do at this point is just follow.
Can Javier try to shoot the one that's carrying him?
They're all in a group surrounding him. You can shoot them, but then Charlie would just plummet.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. Even if one of us tries to catch him, we're gonna both get hurt.
And the Stingwingers have an aerial movement of 40 feet.
Okay. As long as it's flat terrain, I can move 35 feet.
It's a bit hilly, and even if you can keep up, they are able to go through the top of the cracked dome of Terra Venture, whereas y'all have to go through the bottom.
So we're not actually in Terra Venture yet.
Y'all are outside of Terra Venture. It's like practically in front of you, towering over you. Y'all are probably like a mile, half a mile, mile and a half out. But they are able to just go directly in through the cracked dome, whereas y'all are going to have to go in through the bottom. And there is a few openings at the bottom.
Oh, so it doesn't have to be flat. It just has to be hard or solid. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So y'all keep up with it, but they immediately just go through the dome into the city.
Javier's going to start making his way inside.
Yeah, that's just where we're going.
So there is a big opening. And this is where y'all come out at, Javier and Luke anyway. I will point y'all in the right direction. Y'all would come in. Y'all come in at this toll booth right here at the top of the map.
Luke would probably kind of come to a little bit of a stop and throw his arm out to kind of catch Javi.
Y'all had to go through a big outer layer of wall that was blown open, and Y'all were inside of walls for at least 30 seconds to a minute. Y'all can try to see them, but it's going to be pretty hard for y'all to see them if y'all want to attempt to roll to see where they went.
That's what I'm doing. That's why he stopped Javi, because we need to figure out a general direction. Difficulty.
19.
Damn, just barely failed.
I'm gonna try it as well.
Okay. Yeah, y'all don't see anything. And Charlie, as you are carried through the city, the overwhelming pressure and coldness, you eventually pass out on your trip. You're high in the sky, you're panicking. You could even say Tabby put you to rest, if you even want to say that. She
Just knocks me out, like, so I don't have to be present in this very dark moment.
We will continue with Luke and Javier. You didn't see where they went. It's now coming to the realization y'all are so focused on trying to find Charlie and see where they went. You realize what you're in. It's dark. It's cold. There are even bits of snow everywhere. It's an apocalyptic city.
Okay, so what do I see out in the city?
You can see the towering buildings of Terra Venture, the tallest buildings in the center. Some are destroyed. Some are still standing, all heavily covered in different things, bits of snow, moss, all that kind of stuff. Everything's corroded, and you just see basically a destroyed city.
Luke, I think we should head for the center.
That's probably where they're taking him, but that being said, we need to be careful. So we need to be stealthy and just keep an eye out. They know we're here, so now they're looking for us. Let's stick to the buildings. And Luke's gonna as we're maneuvering, kind of clinging to the walls, sort of thing, like staying out of open areas as much as possible, just on high alert the entire time.
So y'all can look. There are many directions to go. You are basically in a city.
We can feel like the energy too, yeah?
To this point, you can tell your body, your very essence shakes. If you look in certain directions, you can feel your insides are cold. When you look in certain directions, you just feel fear in general.
Well, in which direction do we feel it stronger?
You feel it in a few directions.
Okay. What are the directions?
You feel it to your east, you feel it to the north, and you feel it slightly to the west. Y'all are coming from the south.
Which one would you say is stronger?
Yeah, which direction is the strongest?
They're all pretty even.
Where's the crack in the top?
If you look up above you, there are several cracks in this dome. There are several holes, chunks missing of the glass. They could have entered in at any point in any of one of those sections.
Can we assume that the top of the dome is directly above wherever the center of the place is?
Yeah, the dome comes to its center in an antenna section of the top of Terra Venture where the direct center is.
What direction is that from us currently?
You're in the south, so that'd be the north.
Not northeast, northwest, just straight north?
Y'all entered pretty close. I mean, it might be like a little bit northeast-ish, but it's basically, y'all entered almost perfectly in the south.
Luke's just gonna start heading towards the center.
Javier, do you follow?
Yeah.
I think that's our best bet, is just heading to the core.
So y'all start to walk, and as you're walking, we will pick back up with Charlie. Let me place his token real quick before I do this so he knows exactly where he is. And then I will move y'all to this map. We pick back up with Charlie. Charlie, you are pretty conked out a bit. As you start to wake up, there is a bed in there. You are on like a cot of some kind, but that's really about it.
That's nice. You didn't have to do that.
You start to hear something familiar. You forget about what just happened a little bit. It's not fresh in your mind. Then you start to hear, I don't know, this new gig, it kind of blows. I mean, it's not all that bad. It could be worse. It's not the worst job we've ever had, all things considered. I mean, you're an Iceman. I'm a snowman now. As long as he's alive, we're basically immortal. Yeah, I don't know, Bulk. It just kind of sucks. I got sword hands now. What am I supposed to do with sword hands?
Bulk? Skull? Is that you guys?
How do you know our names? Yeah, do we know you?
Seeing that there is a ice and snow monster in front of me, I'm taken a bit aback, but I don't really react properly. I don't show it. It's like, hey guys, It's good to see you. I see that y'all have changed your looks.
It's an adjustment. It's been an adjustment.
This skull made it to Terra Venture. That's cool.
I had a really good alarm clock.
Man, you guys look really cool, actually.
You think?
Yeah, I really do. Like literally cool.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's great. I mean, we've just been kind of chilling out here for a while,
Oh my god.
just doing what he tells us to do.
Hey, are there any other prisoners in here, or just me?
They look at each other. Are we allowed to tell him? I don't think he wants us to tell him. Then again, I mean, it's kind of hard not to. There's a prisoner right in front of him. He's gonna see him eventually.
Oh, there's somebody right across. I
Yeah.
don't want you guys getting in trouble with your boss or whoever. Like, who is your boss?
Oh, well, you see, I don't think he really wants us to tell you that.
Oh, by the way, I don't think I introduced myself. My name is Charlie. Sorry that I kind of knew who you guys were and didn't say who I was.
Skull raises his knife hands. I would shake your hand, but I got sword hands.
That's cool. I'll just be real careful. And then I just kind of like reach through the bars and kind of shake it a little bit, but like
Your fingers turn super cold.
Ugh.
Yeah, that too. So you definitely don't want to shake bulk sand.
Well, I mean, snow is. Yeah. Oh, you guys got some powers, huh?
It's just the coldness. It came with the perks of the job that we kind of didn't ask for.
What were you guys doing before y'all got nabbed and turned into ice creatures?
All kinds of small jobs through Terra Venture. We ran a bar for a little while. All kinds of stuff, really. And then everything happened. Terra Venture crashed. A lot of people made it. It's just he never left. He didn't want to leave. He just kind of kept everyone here, and he gets bored every now and again and starts doing things he shouldn't do, and then wonders why the population doesn't exist anymore.
Can I tell you guys something?
Yeah.
I'm actually putting on a brave front. I'm really scared right now. The Stingwingers took me from my friends, and I don't know if I'm ever going to see them again, and I don't know what your boss is going to make you do or something else do to me. I don't want this to be the end of my adventure. And I kind of back up to the corner and I start crying. I start just tears start coming off my face. I just kind of ball up on the bed and just kind of cry a little bit.
Oh, what are we supposed to do? He's crying now. What do you mean we're supposed to do? We're bad guys now. We don't fucking care if he cries. I mean, I kind of do. Remember the last guy that showed weakness? The boss took his head. Do you really want that to be you? I guess a good point. Just go back to your post.
You guys don't have to. Y'all are doing a good job guarding me. Don't worry about me. I just gotta process this.
You're sitting there crying when a voice behind you, through the cracks in this wall, and there's a couple of holes you could probably look into. You hear a voice. Hey, don't cry. It's gonna be okay.
Who's there?
You probably don't know me. I've been here for a while. Has me separate. You are the first person that I've talked to. Well, the knight's here, but the knight doesn't talk too much.
Knight?
The one from across you.
I kind of look over and squint. Do I see anything?
You squint across, you see the cot, and then you see next to the cot on the ground, there's ice on the wall holding something in. A person in a suit of armor. The armor is rusted, corroded, the visor cracked, and he has a weapon of some sort in his hand, but he's quiet.
He's frozen up against the wall.
It appears to be so.
Can I know it would probably take forever, but what if Adam hops over there and starts licking the ice?
For what I say, you can kind of see that he's attached to the wall, but I mean, I don't think you would need to lick the ice. You can just try to get his attention.
Well, with Vulcan's skull right there, I'm just gonna not. I mean, I'll just wave my arms without being audible.
The head immediately looks up as the ice behind it breaks, and he starts to get out of the ice. And he gets closer to the bars. Where did you come from? There was no one left on Terra Venture.
I'm not from Terra Venture. I'm from a group that it's a long story, but we come from another dimension basically, and sort of space. but I was separated from my group.
What dimension do you come from? Most of the dimensions that are within Virgil has conquered. There's no one left.
There's a lot of dimensions. Our leader Orion, he's trying to keep our worlds in sort of a stasis while a misguided person is messing up the multiverse.
Orion. He disappeared centuries ago. We hadn't seen him since.
He might not be the same Orion that you're thinking of, but I know someone named Orion, and he's my mentor. I'm a Power Ranger, by the way.
Does he know?
Just who? Who are you talking to? What are you talking about?
And he grips the bar slowly. Have you met him yet?
The person behind me?
No.
No, the boss that's in charge of all this? No, I have no idea who it is.
So he doesn't know that you're a Power Ranger.
We haven't shown any, and I definitely haven't shown any sort of skills that would indicate as such. Actually, we might want to come up with a code word. Instead of saying Power Ranger, we can say cucumber. I don't believe that they know that I'm a cucumber.
Whatever you do, don't let him know. And if you are a cucumber, please tell me you are not a blue cucumber.
No, sir. I am yellow and black. I have 2 powers.
Okay, good.
We actually have no blue cucumbers on the team.
Good. I'll try to keep you safe as much as I can.
Hey, do you know who there's a prisoner behind my cell. Do you know who that is?
And he starts to just look around and his head starts to shake. And he looks back at you. Zika. And then he starts to look around nervously. Zika, where are you?
Sir, I think your son is not here.
The voice behind the wall tells you, this is what I was talking about. He gets like this. It's best just to let him go through it and leave him alone.
Is somebody messing with his head, or is that just him?
It's just him. From what I understand, Axe likes to have his way with him every now and again. Beats the shit out of him. He's the only thing he has left to play with. Well, until you came.
What about you? What? Does he torture you? Who is this?
No. I meant my own torture. My own torture of failure. Failure to fix things. It's the only torture I need.
You heard my conversation with Magna Defender, right? You heard that I'm a cucumber?
Yes.
Is that going to be able to change our situation at all? Was Magna Defender right? Should I keep that hidden?
All I have to say is, your cell is unlocked. But that's not for your safety. It's better to stay in it. You step out of that.
I check, and it just opens.
Yep.
And then I just close it again. And I'm like, what the fuck? Do they not have locks?
These bars won't hold me forever. Plus, there's only like 2 of them.
It stays unlocked. But walking out is a basic invitation to your death.
Okay, thank you for your warning. Can I please know who you are? At least come up with a code name. Something for me to call you. I'm Charlie, by the way.
You said you're from other dimensions?
Yes, sir.
Then you already know who I am. At least you should.
Tommy? Leo?
You can try to sense with your cat if you really wanted to, and you can kind of see in. You can do an alertness, you can use your cat.
Yeah, I'm going to use my cat and try to look in.
Tabby doesn't know quite sure what to make of this man. This man's too broken. Tabby kind of wants to help him, and there's nothing in this prison to stop her. So Tabby could potentially go through the walls as long as you can see through and keep the eye contact.
Yeah, let's have Tabby crawl through and then do like a calming chill out, homie.
So Tabby goes through. I want to save the token for a surprise, but I will let you know Tabby goes through, and as you look through Tabby's eyes, I'm going to message you this individually.
Yes, sir. I do know who you are. We're gonna get through this, man. My team of cucumbers we're pretty new to the job, but I think we're gonna get out of this. Stay strong, okay?
And as you do see through Tabby's eyes, not only do you see him, he is on his knees. He's got chains on his arms that are binded to the ceiling, so his arms are kept up, and he's got a chain with a clamp around his neck that's tied into the floor.
Jesus.
He is shirtless, covered in scars, and only has pants on his lower half.
Let's not be on me. I'm gonna think about this a little bit.
Okay. And as you go to an end, you hear Magna Defender still crying for Zika across the cell across from you as
Tabby,
starts
go calm him down too.
he starts to go back to the wall as he slides across it, and he just says Zika. And he has this what appears to be a little dagger or knife in his hand as he grips it, and he says, Zika, Daddy's coming for you. I'll save you.
Gee.
And then the ice starts to form back around him as he goes back into the wall fully. And with that, we will go back to Luke and Javier. So y'all start to make your way further into the city, further, and y'all would be coming up in between these two buildings right here.
What do we see as we kind of are peeking out from around this corner?
Abandoned cars. The snow's heavier in this area as y'all start to come through. Y'all would have had winter gear packed as well, and y'all would have adjusted accordingly to put for the colder, harsher weather that you're coming into. You can start to see, you'd probably step down and feel some crunching as you would start to see that y'all have started to walk on bodies covered in the snow.
White Donna Ranger's camouflage.
You got a bunch of black on you and a red visor.
Oh, he could just turn over in the snow and like lie down face first, and he's just like all white.
No, he's got black on the back too, and gold.
It'll blend in. You don't get it, Jay.
So there's bodies
Under the snow, yes.
Yeah, Luke's gonna be very careful to not step on any of them because he's superstitious, and also ghosts are a thing. So peeking out from around this building, what else do I see?
You see, unlike the rest, all bodies are on the floor. There appears to be some kind of patch of snow or ice clinging to the wall over in that section.
Yeah, Luke's not gonna go out in the open just yet. He's gonna see if he can spot what that is from where he's at. What's the difficulty?
Keep it at 10. 10 is fine. Yeah, you're not that far away. There is ice and snow, but in the center, there appears to be almost very nicely preserved man. I mean, he's not nice to look at. You can tell the skin and skeleton are not far in between, but he almost appears alive.
Luke's gonna kind of edge a little bit closer. Does the man react at all?
You could see him squinting in multiple directions, but he doesn't quite see you. He probably has bad eyes from, barely being alive. So Javi is the first to approach him, and he just says, "It can't be. After all this time, have y'all finally come to save us?"
I just look at Luke.
Luke starts like digging in his pack to pull out like the emergency blanket he's got. We came to investigate a few things, but what's your name? How long have things been this way?
I don't remember. My name is... I don't even know my own name. But I do remember the event and what got me here on this wall.
Luke's kind of trying to brush the snow off of him and get
Don't
him.
bother. I am bound to this wall by ice, snow, and magic.
Why? What happened?
The day of the event, when we crashed, those evil monsters, one of them didn't leave. He said we were his now, and I told him no, and he pinned me up against this wall. Immortality, but at a cost. I would never leave this spot. All because I told him no.
Who did this?
The devil from below, the ice demon. I dared not speak his name.
Well, where can we find him?
I don't know. I feel the cold everywhere. I ache every day, but he doesn't kill me. He only comes by every so often when he gets bored to laugh at me. But I can help you. How many of there are you?
There are 3 of us. We're missing one. He was taken by Stingwinger.
Taken. I fear your friend is probably already dead. He's been very bored lately. Here's a chance your friend may be alive. I can ask the snow. It connects everything, filled with the very souls of the people it devoured. But it will take time, and I may not get a clear answer. But I know where you can go. One of you needs to save someone, or all of you. If you keep going down the road back to the west, there is a stadium. He has labeled the zoo. Go there. Save him.
Who are we looking for in the zoo?
You'll know him when you see him. I don't know what he looks like, but I hear him cry every day. I know he's alone, but I don't think he's like me. And once you save him, come back, and I'll have your answer.
Do you think the zoo is where they've taken our friend as well?
It could be. I don't know for sure, but I will ask the snow.
Thank you. Is there anything we can do to make you more comfortable at all?
No, and I fear if you attempted, he would only make it 10 times worse. In fact, I would get moving now in case he shows up.
Understood. Thank you again.
Thank you, travelers.
Luke just crumples the blanket back and puts it back in his bag.
And before you go, if I can give you any advice, I know you have a friend to save, but if you can get out of here, or if you see him, run. There's no telling what he'll do to you.
Luke just nods and turns to head west.
Javier?
I'm just gonna follow Luke.
Okay, we will go ahead and continue with y'all as y'all begin to head west. The snow is starting to lighten up. You can still feel the cold getting to you, so it's up to you if you want to declothe or not. As y'all come across a highway on your way, a toll booth highway as your way to go west through the city, where there is more overgrowth since it is further out from the center. You start to get up on this highway, cars are piled up, concrete, broken, grass, trees growing out as you get further away from the center. Yet you still feel cold. Y'all can see the stadium in the distance as you start to get closer, and there are signs seem to be painted saying, "The zoo's up ahead, come see the zoo. Don't forget to throw things at the animals."
Yeah, we're moving forward carefully, following the signs.
Are y'all saying anything to each other?
Javier's not. He just wants to find Charlie.
Yeah, Luke's focused on moving forward.
Roll me infiltration, both of you. Y'all continue to move through stealthily as you make your way to the stadium, so y'all can cross this section of the highway very safely.
Yeah, and it's sticking to the brush and the undergrowth.
As y'all make it to the outside of the stadium, you'd be coming up on the steps. Broken down statue, yet more signs. There are buckets of things that sharp objects, hard hitting things, all that you can grab from it says, "Don't take one, don't take two, don't leave anything behind, take what you can carry and go throw it at the fucking animals."
What's in here that's sharp?
The biggest things there is probably a Bowie knife.
Luke's gonna grab the Bowie knife. I mean, he's got a survival knife in his bag, but he's gonna grab the Bowie knife because it's bigger.
You'll have to make your way through the inside of the stadium, but I need another infiltration check.
Oof. Damn. Luke trips on something, he gets distracted or something.
There's another can of sharp objects. Luke just trips, grabs it, and fucking falls, and just the clattering of items.
So
yeah, he doesn't see it in time, and he kicks it, and it just.
So y'all look up, very hard to see, and then you kind of notice the shadows are a little bit weird, and then the shadows flicker because they're the wings of the hard backs of the Stingwingers. They just kind of flicker in unison, and then one of them turns it. You can see its eyes form as it turns its head and it sees you. Not all of them, but a few do drop down.
God, this is like that one section in Resident Evil.
Luke says that out loud. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
So these three drop down. One really close to the other two on the ground. No, none of them. No other ones are dropping down. Just this one and the two others that saw you. They drop down. They do not look like they might take y'all prisoner, but not sure if you want that. So be careful.
Javier's already slipped on his brass knuckles.
Damn.
Okay. You do not hit this thing.
It's alright. Luke's just gonna get over on this side. Javi can flank with him if he wants to.
Alright, I'm gonna try to hit this guy.
Okay. You have advantage because you're flanking.
It's facing Luke right now, so I
Yep.
just come up and like bopped it once on its head on the back.
He is stunned, so he is going to miss out on that extra bonus, and he is not looking good. All right. It's their turn. We'll skip him. And he is going to get you with his Stinger Claw. What is your toughness unmorphed?
21.
So you are wailing it. You wailed into this thing, and then you get a nice Stinger Claw across your backside for 1 damage. And then the other one's going to come up on you. Does not hit. You got the first one, and you easily dodged that one out of the way in time. So now back to Luke.
There we go.
Yeah, no. So you hit the one in front of you?
Luke just does a real solid side kick up into its chin, snapping its head back.
It dies on Whiplash. You crush this bug. I'll go ahead and move him over here.
Luke gets right here. Ready to help Javi out.
I will attack the one directly in front of me.
Just barely missed him. Okay. They're within 5 feet, so they now get advantage again because of pack tactics. He misses anyway. He tries to shoot you with these I-beams, and you effectively dodge out of the way. And now this one is going to go for Luke.
Damn.
Oof. You're lucky it wasn't a critical. If it was a critical, you would have been blinded till the end of the next turn. So
Yeah, Luke didn't like that. I'm gonna reflavor this instead of stun damage to sharp damage. He fucking pulls out the Bowie knife and he's gonna try to stab this thing.
oh my god. Okay, sure. Why not?
He didn't like that.
If you fumble, he's gonna just trip you, and you're just gonna stab Javier because he's right on the other side.
He takes a swipe at it and he just misses.
It just cuts across his hard outer insect skin. Knife's been there for a while. It's just a little rusty. All right, Javier, it's your turn.
I do a sweep kick to his knee, and so when he gets down onto his knee, with both hands, Purgatory, I simply smash his head in from both sides.
Damn. All right, yeah, he's dead. All right, it's his turn. All by his lonesome now. He's taking a swing at you. It's kind of getting a bit nervous in its own way.
Javier looks at it and just licks the blood off of his hands.
Oh god.
Oh god. Okay, well, it's Luke's turn.
Hi, I've still got the knife.
Yeah, he's gonna have to dodge. He's got Javier in front of him and you behind him.
Damn it, Luke! You are just having a bad time of it tonight, aren't you?
I fucking punch him in his giant red eye.
He's stunned. I'm gonna say he's stunned. He doesn't get his turn.
Seeing that the thing is stunned, Luke just flips the knife around to where like the back of the blade's against his arm, and just like swings back and just like stabs it right through the thing's neck.
And it just and then just drops. You are now out of combat.
Luke wipes the fucking goo off the knife on his pants.
I'm gonna start heading inside.
No more of the Stingwingers come down from the ceiling, and y'all are free to go in.
Cool.
We're gonna get y'all inside, and then we're gonna cut back to Charlie. So Charlie, what are you doing right now?
So during the hours, I will have said that I've been whispering to the mystery person behind me, and also to Magna Defender, trying to get them ready. I know that they're probably gonna be like, "No, there's no point." Blah 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 blah. I didn't want to hear any of that. I'm like, listen, I've got a team of cucumbers. They're on their way, and when they get here to save us, there's gonna be there's no hope talk at all. I'm trying to pump these dudes up, and when it comes down to it, every time like Bulk and Skull are out of earshot, I've been saying things like that to be like, when things go down, we need to stand together. And then when Bulk and Skull are in earshot, I've been trying to talk to them, trying to tell them like, hey, you guys have come a long way. You used to be misguided, but you've ended up helping the good guys in so many ways. And for y'all to turn into this and end up like this, it's not a good ending to y'all's story. So I'm trying to talk them into, if things go down, if they see a glimmer of hope to try to help me and to try to help to our cause. So, and that's what I've been.
The man behind you is just like, it doesn't matter. I mean,
No, bro.
your friends are like your friends. In his words, let's just hope your friends deliver.
Hey, whether they do or not, it's going to be a lot more help if we all do what we can do.
Magna Defender. Oh, go ahead.
We can't be sitting idly by hoping for them to do anything. If they are not here within the next couple hours, we're going to come up with a plan to get out of here.
All right, go ahead. Walk through your cell.
I'm not going to walk through it. I'm telling you right now that something's going to happen. That's when. But for now, just wait. And then I'm going to go over to the cell and I'm going to say, hey guys.
They don't respond.
They don't respond?
They aren't responding.
Fuck, Skull.
You can try to peek through. I'm going to say Skull's right here. You can kind of see Skull. He's as stiff as he ever could be.
Tabby, go check that shit out. To just what's going on with him. Can I do a check?
So they're stiff, has a board, and the man on the wall says, I'd be quiet if I were you. He's coming. You can hear faint footsteps, what sounds to be someone putting a grindstone to something, sharpening something as they begin to walk in your direction.
Curl up on my bed again, but this time I'm pretending to cry.
The only thing Skull does is open this gate. The footsteps are getting closer and closer and closer until they are right outside and they stop right in front of your cell.
I'm just in the fetal position, not looking up at him, sniffling.
You really think you can ignore me?
Kind of look up, and I sit up and I look at him. I didn't know you were there. Wasn't ignoring you.
Right. Because you can't hear the footsteps echoing through the hallways.
I was kind of sniffling and crying a lot. I'm not a very smart person. I'm sorry.
And you see he's got his axe in his right hand, his double-sided axe, as he just taps it against the cell. How many?
Including me?
Yes.
3?
That's it. That's all you brought me. 3.
Yeah, we were just kind of hiking.
That's a lie. I know that's a lie. Me and my brothers and my sisters cleared out this universe. There's no one left. Where did you come from?
We were on an expedition through space and we crashed down in escape pods. There was a dark energy that made our ship malfunction and we had to get in escape pods and we ended up here and we've just been hiking for a couple of days.
You are not intimidated as he continues to stare at you with his axe pressed.
Joke's on him. I'm doing the same thing I used to do to my dad to try to make sure that he was appeased enough to get away from me.
He sees you're not intimidated, and he's going to go out on a gamble.
I'm pretending to be intimidated because he needs to feel.
You are?
He needs to feel like he's in control. That's what I've learned over the years.
You think a man who hasn't psychologically tortured people for potentially a very long time doesn't know when someone's faking?
So let me roll for deception then.
Okay, yeah, roll for a deception. You're going to have to beat his... Let's see. Oh, wow, yeah. He genuinely believes that you are horrified, but it's not enough.
He's horrifying. Why would he not believe that I'm not horrified? He horrifies everybody. He hasn't seen somebody that was legitimately able to be.
That's true.
Him, so.
But he does want more information. If you're horrified, I mean, you don't have to tell the truth, but...
I don't have to tell the truth because he didn't intimidate me and I tricked his ass. So, yeah, our escape pod, you can probably find it to the east.
He just looks at you, takes his axe off the door. We'll see.
And if I come back and there's nothing there,
And he's just gonna scoot to the side, his axe pointing at the Mandalorian cell.
you'll start to see why he's the way that he is.
That guy keeps talking about the Zika virus. Am I gonna get sick in here?
Zika virus. You're funny. That's just his son. A son that could possibly be alive. Isn't that right, Magna Defender?
And the defender gets off the wall again, comes to the front.
Have you seen Zika? Have you seen him? Yes. He's up at my throne room. We're having a great time. A wonderful time. When will I get to see my Zika? In due time. All in due time, my friend. You'll be reunited. I suspect very soon. I promise. After all, I am a ranger.
And then he starts to walk away.
Like I said, I better find a ship out there.
The escape pod.
Their escape pod, yeah.
But honestly, I hope I don't. Because next time, if I come back, let's just say me and you are going to be cellmates for a while.
Skull opens the door again as he walks back through, and Skull closes it as he goes to walk away in a direction you don't know.
I'm gonna get back on the bed and continue my ruse of sniffling.
The guy behind the wall.
I can't believe you actually pulled it off.
I dealt with a jerk like him before, sociopath.
Well,
Made me who I am today.
I hope you're right. Because even I saw through that bullshit.
Yeah, maybe he's not had anybody to really talk to in a while.
Either that, or he's playing you. He's bored.
I guess then, if that's the case, maybe I'll give him something to play with.
Let's just hope that your friends deliver, like I said.
If they don't, it's going to be on us. Got 3 cucumbers here, and possibly, I think I can get to Bulk and Skull to maybe help us. And maybe they can slow Axe down, and maybe they can help us. Maybe we can escape.
As you're talking to him, Bulk and Skull seem to come to life as Bulk comes down. Hey, it's break time. Go to the break room.
Skull's like, thank God, break time. 15 minutes every year. What a great place.
Every year?
And they start to walk off as they go to the break room.
Can't even be 30 minutes? Jesus.
Can I? Okay, I'm gonna walk out and look at other cells. Are there other things in the cells?
Skeletons, corpses.
Now that I have plenty of time to do sort of like a replacement jutsu, can I turn like something into a version of me and set it in here?
You could. You could try.
Take my emergency blanket out and roll it up and then make it like just me pretending like in a fetal position, just like replacement jutsu style. And then I'm going to walk over to Magna Defenders. Is his gate open? Like, is his...
Yeah, they're all unlocked.
Jesus Christ, that's so scary. That's so much scarier than anything.
Mm-hmm.
What do I see if I look over here?
You see some pillars. You see another gate, and then darkness. You can also see a bit of this direction over here behind the pillar. Not a lot, but mostly just the 3 pillars, and then another gate here, and then what appears to be nothing. But just too dark for you to see.
Oh, fuck, I don't know what to do.
That gate is also unlocked if you wanted to check.
Oh, but Bulk and Skull are right there, so I don't want to go too far.
Well, no, they went to the break room. I just didn't want to move their tokens entirely off the map.
Okay, so nobody's okay. Okay, I kind of step out and get over here in between these columns.
Roll me infiltration.
Oh.
Trip!
No.
Story points.
Yeah,
Story
wait.
points. Story points.
Yeah, story point.
We have 8. We have plenty, please.
Oh, now y'all want to remember to use the story point.
Okay.
I don't want Charlie to get baned!
I will use this story point. I pushed it down to 7. I will re-roll infiltration.
18.
God. 18 already. Like,
Why is it 18?
Because the thing he's hiding from, that's why.
Axe has he can sense through the snow, like there's communication through the snow, like it's an aura thing.
Use another one. Use 2.
No, fuck that. I fall, hurt my leg, and I immediately scoot back to my cage and
No, you don't get to scoot back to your cage. You're in there. You are in there when you fall. You better get back there.
You slip and fall on your ass.
Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie.
Oh, God.
This thing forms out of the floor. This giant towering golem comes out from the ground and just looks at you.
This isn't where my cell is. Vulcan Skull said it was break time. I thought it was break time for all of us.
The golem just and then goes to he's gonna try to grapple you.
I have escape artist. Oh, this dude's so huge, he scoops me up with ease.
Scoops you up with ease. And he scoops you up, he's got you in his hand, you're really, really cold, and he's just holding you there as you can't really see eyes, but then his face starts to form as these humanoid eyes form on its face and they go bright yellow. It says, "So, you walked out of your cell."
The door was unlocked.
Oh, I know. It's kept that way for a reason.
So I'm an idiot.
So,
I don't want to get them in trouble, so I'm not going to say that again.
the Stingwingers are on their way to the supposed escape pod crash site searching for this thing. But I don't have to be there.
Yeah, man. You're not going to find, there's not an escape pod.
And you start to hear the footsteps come as he starts on his way back.
And honestly, the pee that's coming out of me right now is freezing to my leg, and it hurts extremely bad.
The ice golem, as it has you in his hand, is gonna press you down to the ground with his hand, and your head is, you're not like fully down. You have like your arms and your knees. You have your hands on the ground with your knees also on the ground. You're just pinned down with this weight, and Psycho Blue is gonna put his foot on your head and have his axe a little bit against your neck with his right arm as his right foot's on your head. So, you gonna tell me the truth now?
Nah, man, fuck you. Chop it off.
Okay, he's gonna roll another intimidation check. So he's got a critical. The ice golem is gonna start picking you back up, but instead of being held in its hand, your arms are wrapped in chains as you're dangling from its arms. From its hand, you're hanging up with your hands tied. You're hanging from a chain that's coming from the bottom of his hand. You're held up, and this isn't going to do damage this time. And as you're being held up, this is where the intimidation comes in. He's going to rib check you. Psycho Blue is just going to deck you right in the ribs.
I mean, I'm intimidated big time already.
Yeah. This is the whole process for this intimidation.
Okay.
He punched you in there and says, "Where are they? Don't make me look into your mind."
You have that ability. Look, you'll see I don't know.
The ice golem is going to lower your chain enough, and he is going to hit you with the Nemesis Drain at point blank range. And for this effect, he is going to start draining your mind of the information that he wants, and even some things he doesn't know that he's going to get.
Can Tabby help me?
You are at point blank range against the very thing that has surrounded Terra Venture in cold darkness.
Oh, shit.
He gets more than what he bargains for. He knows there's a ship in orbit. He knows about Orion. He knows a lot of things now. And now all of your willpower and smart things have a snag.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you are intimidated as fuck as he gets more and he's bargaining for it and he says, so you have a way to give me more infinite number of Blue Rangers. That's good. And that man,
More. Why didn't he want to be the most powerful one?
he wants to kill them.
Oh, okay.
He's obsessed. That's how Axe is.
We just let Axe kill Billy for us.
Yeah. There's
Oh,
one.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's like
yeah,
this one
he
guy.
was
He's
Steve Billy.
powerful. He thinks
Okay.
you're shit. He thinks you're a piece of shit, dude. His
So-
name's Billy Cranston.
Okay. So he does. I'm getting all the information that Axe has learned. The only person that might be a problem is Orion. That's his name. And he's kind of like moving his head around. He's reading all the information. He's just got another Billy Cranston, a strong one. So that's what that was. That was him. Oh, the balls on him. He thinks he can outshine me. Yes, this is good. And he's going to punch you. This time he is actually actively going to try to punch you. And you are currently dangling and unable to move, so he does get advantage. What is your toughness?
It's like fucking might as well be 4 because it's not very high. So just beat a 4. No, it's 14,
14.
which again is not high.
So he tries to hit you, but the golem just like moved a little too much and the chain started to sway, so he swings at nothing. And then he just gets kind of mad, but he doesn't really do anything about it. And
Can they
he
just?
kind
I'm being held. Like, just give him a success.
okay, fine. I'll say he hits you. He
So
misses
awkward.
he misses the first time, and then he like realigns you like a punching bag, and he decks you right in the ribs. You can probably feel a rib break, one rib, a crack.
Okay.
He hit you with one damage, you kind of feel a rib break.
So awkward that he punched in me.
That is really awkward.
It is awkward. What a loser! Pulls his axe out. Never mind.
The golem is gonna pay for that later. Why'd you move?
He's learned a lot now, so now he's really curious. He really wants to get that ship. He really wants to get the alley and make his way. And then he puts his hand to the side of his helmet where there would be just 2 fingers, and he just says, "Virgil." And you can't hear this conversation. Just, I think I found us a way to get more. Yes, we have a new prisoner. I think you would like to meet him. Oh, he's a lot of fun. I like him. Not enough, though. And he drops his fingers down, and then he just kind of twists his head, and the golem releases you as you drop back to the ground. And he points his axe at you. I told you if you lied to me, we were going to be cellmates. How would you like to have a little fun?
I'm just crying.
And then you hear a quick jump, ice shatter, and a slap against the cage as the Magna Defender jumps up, and he says, "No, take me."
Magna, don't do it. Stay in there, man.
Blue Psycho Ranger throws you down the hallway,
Ugh.
and he starts to come back to you, putting his foot on your head. Why? We both know. I don't got a lot of left in me. Look at me. If you do what you're gonna do, you'll kill him. And then you'll have nothing besides the other one in the room. The one that Virgil won't let you touch. Take me. You can kill me now. And you'll have him for a lot longer than you'd have me. Blue Psycho Ranger starts mulling it over, thinking about it. And I thought you wanted to see your son. The Man Defender, she starts shaking. I can't save my son, but I can save him.
He sees Zika in me, doesn't he?
Blue Psycho Ranger gets his foot off you. Well, then you know where to meet me. And I'll be waiting for you for the last time. And he starts to walk off. The golem disappearing as Psycho Blue walks away. The Magna Defender steps out of his his cell to pick you up.
What did he mean by that?
This is the end of the line for me, kid.
If we just wait a little bit longer, I'm pretty sure that my friends will be here.
That was longer. I bought you time. Hopefully I can keep him entertained enough. Long enough. Take this.
And he hands you what appears to be his blaster sword from what you would know from Lost Galaxy.
I'm not going to need it where I'm going.
Don't you need this if you're going to fight him?
No, you take it. You'll need it.
I failed my friends. He knows everything. We don't have a lot of time.
He goes to say will, and he says, You'll
stop him. I have faith. Just get back in your cell.
I just turn around and I get back in the fetal position on my bed. And I'm just sobbing.
And he starts to walk off when the voice behind the wall says,
I hope you bought us enough time. Maybe it'll be enough. If Virgil shows up, it's not going to be good. They need to hurry wherever they are.
And the Magna Defender walks off as the footsteps go away. And before we continue this, it's back to Javier and Luke inside of the zoo.
Guys, we're gonna die.
So y'all walk in, everything old, rusted, corroded, similar stuff.
I mean, Luke's on high alert. He's got the knife out in like a defensive position. He's kind of creeping.
Y'all are fine for now. You'll look on the ceilings. There doesn't appear to be any inside. Just a bunch of signs, making fun of animals, trash talking. None of you not forget to take weapons to chunk at the animals, all that kind of stuff. Have a good time.
Well, we're just gonna keep going.
You start coming up standard stadium stuff as you walk towards what little light there is. You can see the inside of the stadium.
Oh shit, that's a big boy.
So y'all come out right down here close to the bottom, and y'all see back turned, cuts, lashes, giant chain around its neck hooked deep into the ground, and you can hear it finally. You can hear the crying. You look deep within, junk scattered everywhere, and 4 big stones. It looks like a giant fresh grave as this big dark bluish thing cries in front of you.
I think we found what the man was talking about.
I'm gonna hop down and go towards that hook in the ground. I was gonna say, can I try to pull the hook out of the ground?
Where it's encased at is ice. Impaled deep into the ground, it is very cold to the touch.
Then can the chain itself, where that isn't encased in ice?
The chain itself, you can try, but if the giant ape hasn't been able to do it...
Right, that's right.
Luke, roll me infiltration, since you're moving around.
He's just kind of skirting around the outside.
It's a 13.
God damn it, Luke.
Okay. So Javier's fine. And then Luke, going around some of this piles of junk, hits something, metal starts tinging sounds, loud banging. This thing instantly turns around, and it picks up this giant chunk of metal that seems to have been sharpened, and immediately comes towards you.
Luke drops the knife in his hand and just hands her up.
Mid-swing, just... You can tell, looking at its face, its body, similar things. It's been rough for this thing. As it looks at you in confusion, a little bit of a... One eyebrow raised, looking over at you, gets really close to you, looking over you. It drops the big, giant, sharpened piece of metal, and then gets down closer to the ground to look at you more, and ever so carefully gives you a little poke with its finger, with its giant, massive finger.
I'm real.
This thing doesn't know what to do, and it does not believe there's anything y'all can do to help it. So after that, it just picks up its thing and goes back towards the center and sits back down and just slumps over again.
Can I look at the thing around its neck? It's like a chain around its neck, right?
It's a big chain. It's got a standard chain with a metal collar around its neck.
Is that a lock mechanism?
It is all the way around steel or some kind of metal, and then the chain just loops into the back of it.
Okay. And there's how many hooks?
It's just the one on the back, and then there's one thing where the chain is into the ground, but it's pushed into the ground with ice. It's a giant ice pick straight into the ground. Are you trying to do something?
Can I see if the collar has like possibly any weak points from like just the how long he's had it on? Out of
Yeah,
the
that's what
I mean, it is. He's gigantic. So you'd be looking up.
Can I climb up him?
You can attempt to.
can Luke get his attention and ask him to come down so we can look at the collar?
Roll animal handling.
I don't have anything in it.
Javier can also try.
I will also try as well.
I will
Uh,
say, since do neither of you have anything in animal handling?
None of us have anything in animal handling.
I will allow y'all to roll. I have a DC. If y'all beat it combined, I will give it to you.
I'm dealing with tough monsters, and you guys are trying to soothe something. It's like we need to swap places.
Right.
Okay, y'all passed. It was a DC of 14. Luke got you pretty fucking close. So with that 8 and 8, that is a 16, and y'all pass, and y'all are basically instructing him to lower himself, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so we can look at the collar.
So he lowers himself, and y'all can look at the collar. It's some sort of metal. It's solid all the way around. Just has a little loop sticking out the back where the chain is hooked on. And it's not like one of those things where you can like press it down and link it in. It is just a chain link connected to it.
So that would be the best place to focus on to try to get it off.
Potentially, yes.
So the type of energy blast from the blade blaster, does that have any sort of heat to it?
I would say so, yeah.
How fucking strong is this chain?
It's strong enough to keep a giant gorilla in it.
So what my idea was with the blade blaster thing was to try to like do a welding torch type bullshit and try to like to cut through it.
You can try.
I mean, at the very least, heat it up to see if maybe we can make it more malleable, and then just like have Javier try to break it up.
The chain isn't broken. It gets warm, but that's about it. And then the gorilla, sees you're trying to help it. And it demonstrates by trying to pull on it that it's not strong enough. Whichever way it pulls, it even rotates the collar around, starts pulling down from its neck really hard, both hands on it, just pulling it down. And it just throws its arms up like, "Rrr." And then it wants to see something. Rummages around back over here, grabbing some heavy pieces of metal and just throws them on the ground. And he just points both of you and goes, "Rrr, rrr." And he does a lifting motion. "Rrr." He wants y'all to try to lift it to see how strong y'all are.
Okay, I'm gonna try to lift it.
Luke, are you going to try to lift this thing? And because beats you has one. You both lift it, and the gorilla just looks at both of you and just says, just nodding his head like, "Rrr." And then he gets excited, and then he starts moving stuff around, starts pushing dirt together, making it a giant mound, patting it down like you would a snowman to make the ball solid, patting it down, making it bigger and bigger. And he takes his giant sharpened piece of metal and he sticks it right at the top. And then he gets your attention. And he just starts moving his arm and look, and he just gets up behind it and he goes, "Rrr, rrr, rrr," and he goes and he pulls it out and he lifts it up high in the sky. And he goes, "Rrr," and he just looks at y'all like, you get what I'm saying? Like, "Rrr."
Is he saying we need to, as a combined effort, try to smash the thing together?
He puts his face in he puts his face in his hand. Just, "Arr." He puts it back in there, and then he on the big giant big mound of dirt he made with his finger, draws what appears to be his face in a circle. Lifts the sword out.
Lifts the sword up, but what does he do with the sword? He just lifts it up. That's it.
He lifts it up and he lifts it high and goes. "Arr."
Drop something from up.
Can I have the mammoth, since it's technically an animal, try to communicate it's with me?
The mammoth morpher knows knows exactly what he's saying. He's like, I'm just throwing a voice out there. I believe he's saying that you need to go and find a sword encased in stone and pull it out, and that will be able to break the chain.
Where could I find that?
And then the gorilla drops everything, gets excited, and he gets a piece of rebar and starts drawing a little map on the ground, and he draws a diamond, which is to represent the stadium, and then he draws a path, and then there's just this he draws an X, and it's got trees around it and stuff, and then in the center it's got a little mound and a little stick through it to represent the sword, and he goes, and he points from the stadium to there.
So
In
we
which
need to
direction
find
is it
that
heading?
thing.
He just kind of throws his arms up. He doesn't really know. He just senses it's there at this place.
Well, can you tell me what direction he senses it from?
He drops down, crisscrosses, puts his hand on his fist, closes his eyes, and he gets back up and he points north.
All right. Immediately start heading there. I'm not even gonna say anything else. I'm just gonna go.
Luke follows Javier.
I was gonna look at the graves, but I saw some King Kong shit looking like.
I mean,
happening,
Luke
so I
would
just
look
started
at the
looking.
graves. Luke's
So
curious.
on the graves. So you know
Got
how
it.
he drew a circle with what appeared to be his face in the center?
Mhm.
On each of the graves, there is a circle with similar shapes, not hard to make out, of a lion, a cat, a wolf, and a condor.
He's the last
And
one.
these are graves. These are massive stones. And like I said, the one in this corner over here, the ruffled dirt is big. Like he could potentially fit in this ruffled dirt. You get the feeling it's not hard to put together. It's called the zoo. There's one animal, giant graves with other animals on the stones. And he's all alone now. But he seems very, very excited as y'all trot off, seem to understand. He starts pounding his chest and starts waving as y'all go in excitement as y'all leave on your journey.
I love that, like, Charlie is experiencing the horrors. Meanwhile, the boys are going on like a fucking D&D-esque quest.
Right.
Okay, both of you are I'm gonna say both of y'all are fine. Javier rolled a 20 and you rolled a 14. I'm not gonna roll the Stingwingers. I'm just gonna say y'all are fine. You rolled high. Both of you rolled excellent on your skill die, so y'all are fine this time as y'all come through here. There are broken buildings, everything. Y'all are starting to get hungry, and it appears to be getting colder and darker than before, insinuating that it might be nighttime now.
Yeah. How many rations do we have again?
Y'all have rations that are meals that need to be heated, and then you have granola bars and stuff. The storm scene appears to be brewing up. It's getting really cold.
All right. Maybe we should take shelter in a building.
Yeah, we need to find shelter. Is this building relatively intact?
It is.
We're gonna find like a corner where there's like where the windows are not busted and like it's relatively solid. Like I don't know, like maybe an interior room
Yeah.
if there is
A lot,
one.
a lot of the windows on this building are boarded up, even with broken glass.
Okay, is there an interior room?
I'll say yes. This was a small office building. There are plenty of closed off rooms.
Okay. So yeah, we find like an interior room and we hole up with the blankets. I'm sure there's plenty of wood around, yeah.
Yeah, boarded windows, all that kind of shit. Yeah, there's definitely plenty of wood. You can even tell that people had similar ideas when the power went out and everything. You can find places where people had dug holes into the first floor to put campfires and stuff like that. It's just been abandoned. So you have a perfect hole to put it in. There are pots and stoves around. They aren't clean.
That's fine. Yeah, Luke's gonna start a fire.
Also, plenty of snow and ice outside if you want to boil water.
I mean, yeah, he's gonna take one of those pots that look relatively clean and like kind of scrape it out as best he can and go get a pot full of snow.
So as you go outside, to gather the snow in the pot, just kind of like scoop it in and just, let it boil and all that kind of stuff. There's a big trash can outside, and you hear some rattling around in it. Small rattling.
He looks in. He peeks.
Both lids are closed, so you'd have to lift it up a tiny bit.
Okay, Luke's curious. Curiosity killed the cat, but he's a curious boy right now. He's like, what the fuck is that? Because there's not a lot of stuff that's alive here.
Inside, you see, as you peek in, a lot of stuff has been gathered and put in here very cleverly. But inside, deep within, instantly looking up at you, giving out meow.
It's a kitty cat. Oh my goodness. Kitty.
Meow. This cat looks fully nourished in the photo. I didn't want to scar anybody. This cat is fluffy, but you can tell he is hungry.
Oh. Luke kind of gently outstretches a hand for the cat to sniff.
He's sniffing you. He can smell food.
Luke's gonna gingerly try to pet the cat.
He's gonna let you. You smell like food.
Okay.
Turns
Gives
out it's
him
a
some-
monster and it tries to eat Luke in its sleep.
It just fucking eats my entire hand. My hand's gone.
So the
Yeah,
garbage
no.
can and the cat are a mimic. I'm sorry, Luke.
You fell for it
No,
and you lost the hand.
No, that was my good hand. Anyways, yeah, no, Luke's gonna try to pick the cat up if allowed.
He does not have the strength to fight back.
Okay, he picks the cat up. He's got the pot of snow, and he comes inside, shuts the door.
Javier's gonna be like, "Oh, you found dinner."
We're not eating him. We have rations.
Javier forgot about the rations. He's like, "Oh yeah," and just gonna start digging through the pack. Oh, is this supposed to this is symbolizing that we're gonna lose Charlie and the cats to make up?
No.
It's like, it's like high or low.
So yeah, the cat gets really close to the fire. He had tried to put stuff in the dumpster to make himself as warm as possible, but always dragged in snow and stuff, so it was wet and cold still. He gets close by the warm fire as he lays down, but also kind of eyes still open. He can smell the food on both of you. He's waiting.
Yeah, Luke's gonna.
All right, what's in these rations? Like, what rations do we have?
Yeah,
There's
we're
a-
gonna look through the rations. How many
It's-
do we have as well?
Each of you have, including Charlie, 5 different rations.
I've got special toaster tarts thanks to Allie.
Yeah,
That's
yes,
what he's eating on, crying in his cot.
they're rock hard because it's cold.
Right, it's like his
Yeah,
comfort food. But he's still trying
So
to eat it.
we're both gonna tick down one ration then.
One ration. Each of you has a variety from what Allie has learned about y'all's eating habits. So honestly, whatever you think you would like is probably in there. There's just no monster meat or anything monster related for Javier. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that now.
Wow, dude, why would you nerf him like this? And Javier finds like chicken, like just like a big chicken, like from before.
Oh god. Yeah, but we've got our rations. Luke's gonna give the cat some of the meat from his.
Shark
It's just
shark
regular
chicken.
sized chicken.
Regular sized chicken, fine.
So you heat up, each of you heat up your food respectively, and you give him some chicken. Luke gives him a little bit of his food, and the cat starts to eat.
Yeah. Boil some water so we don't have to tap into our water tank supplies just yet and give the cat some of the water.
He eats a lot, then he starts drinking a bit, and then goes back to eating, kind of wolfing it down a little bit. It's first food he's had in God knows how long. Surprising there's actually even a cat out here.
First decent food he's had.
Yeah, so he eats his fill, and then he falls asleep next to the fire. First decent night he's had.
Yeah. Luke's gonna pull out his tent. We can just share one. Probably not enough room for 2 tents. Also, body heat.
Right.
And Luke,
Because I feel like Javier's a fucking radiator.
and as y'all are eating and finishing up eating, probably gonna lay down for the night to let the storm pass. Y'all hear and feel a tremendous, same for you, Charlie. Y'all hear and feel a tremendous boom and a shockwave that rattles Terra Venture. And Luke, as it happens, you have a vision. You zoom out from yourself and start to go towards the edge of the barrier where y'all entered, and at that edge is Hayakawa, Jiraiya, and Orion, as Orion decked the barrier.
Oh, they got our SOS.
Orion has decked the barrier, and where he decked it, there is a crack.
Is that all I see?
You see that? You see him, you see the crack, and you see Orion pull his fist back as he turns to Hayakawa and he turns to Jiraiya. And you're hearing this from his left shoulder. And then Hayakawa and Jiraiya are talking, and then Orion just kind of throws his finger and says, shh. And he starts to turn and look your direction. And he squints his eyes, and he just says, Luke. And then your vision ends.
Orion knows we're here. Orion, Hayakawa, and Jiraiya are here. That boom was Orion cracking the barrier. We're not entirely alone.
Surprised you didn't get it on the first shot.
I don't know who we're dealing with, but it's not good.
Well, there's not much we can do now. We just have to wait.
We weathered the storm.
So y'all go to sleep. And I'm not going to make y'all roll anything, but the evil energy that is around here that has been generated does give y'all nightmares, but it's not bad. It's just enough to shake you up in your sleep. Make you you sleep, but you have an uncomfortable sleep throughout the night.
Oh, Luke's not used to that.
Yeah. Luke has advantage with this.
Oh, Luke's suffering so much right now. Oh, he never has nightmares.
You all sleep. You have rough sleep. Same for you, Charlie. It's very uncomfortable, nightmare heavy. But it's not bad enough that you're shaken up. You're not broken will wise, but it was nightmarish. We're gonna cut back to Charlie. Charlie, like I said, you are in your cell when you hear the loud boom and everything shakes.
Great. More darkness and evil stuff coming to kill us all.
The voice behind you, I don't think you understand what that was. Someone's knocking on the barrier. Somebody wants in. And I don't think I have to be the one to tell you that doesn't happen too often.
I wonder if it could be my mentor and my friends.
You still lied to him? I mean, I know he figured it out, but how many more are there?
Just in case you're a plant trying to get information out of me, I'm not going to tell you.
I think you saw pretty well that I'm currently in chains.
Could all be part of the trick.
Then again...
Come on, man. You know that I'm making the right choice right now by just not telling you, right?
I understand. I just thought you knew who I was.
Could be a trick. I don't know if I trust anything while I'm in here anymore.
That's fine.
My
Whatever you say.
My face hurts, and I don't want to talk anymore. I'm eating Pop-Tarts over here, toaster tarts, and I'm sobbing into them, and it's making them salty.
I thought you were eating rocks with how hard they sounded.
Also, I peed my pants.
I know. I can smell. Also, there's holes in the bottom of the floor. It leaked over here.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's not the worst thing. But hopefully, whoever your mentor is, hopefully he's coming soon.
Sometimes I worry that if he uses too much energy trying to keep bailing us out and saving us, that the energy that he's normally using to keep my mom and everybody else safe, he might let that fall by the wayside. And I get really scared and worried, and I wish he didn't have to keep coming and saving us.
Who is your mentor?
His name is Orion.
Orion. There were legends about a man named Orion, but he seemed to disappear without a trace.
He might not be that same Orion. We're all from different dimensions.
So it's true then. Someone else has shattered the grid.
I tell him. I guess if Axe already has all the information from my head, I'll just tell him everything I know. I tell him there's a version of Billy Cranston that has gone evil and trying to save Trini, that he has shattered the grid, doesn't care anymore. He's just destroying universes. So Orion has put together a team to try to stop him, and Billy has teamed up with and is trying to find power all throughout the universe with evil rangers. He's collecting powers. I'm telling him everything.
So you have a morpher on you, correct?
Yes, sir. I have 2 morphers on me.
But you have one that takes power coins.
Yes, sir.
Kid, I think you just got us out of here.
What do you mean?
I think I'm gonna need that morpher.
I'm really supposed to take care of it and not let anybody use it. It's not really mine. I'm borrowing it.
Do you want to die in here?
I mean,
You give me the morpher, I can put my power coin in it. I can morph, and I can get us out of here.
if I hand you this morpher, I just can't. I've already failed my team so bad. Axe has all the information, and I just can't keep screwing up. What if you're just a trick?
You know who I am. You know what I can do.
I'm gonna put my trust in you. Gotta be very careful with this morpher, and I want it back.
And don't worry, I'm coming to you.
Oh shit.
But I need another good night's sleep. Tomorrow, we'll get out of here.
Do you need any food? Can I get you food? Like, I have food.
No, my power coin has sustained me long enough. I just gotta think this through. And once I get to you, you need to hand me that morpher immediately. We won't have much time, especially if Virgil shows up.
Okay, I will. All right, man. I'm gonna put my trust in you.
To give you some info on a few things. If Virgil shows up, we might be dead no matter what I do. Axe only did it a few times. But Virgil, every Red Ranger he killed, he absorbed their powers, becoming stronger. Axe may be a deluded psychopath, but Virgil, he's a power-hungry monster. But tomorrow we'll escape. And something else, Charlie. I should have started with this before we got to the boom. But throughout the rest of the day, you would eventually heard the clattering and clanging of steel, fighting noises, things being broken, shakes in this structure that you're in, the psychotic laughter of the blue Psycho Ranger, before eventually it stopped.
Yeah. I've just been like crying and then okay and then crying and okay. Charlie kind of goes back and forth.
And you noticed as it finally stopped, there was a brief moment, and then the blaster sword that Magna Defender handed you seems to corrode more, and the green crystal on it cracking.
Oh shit.
I mean, I think you know what happened. I don't think I need to directly tell you what happened to Magna Defender.
Yeah.
But you have hope.
I'm just crying. I'm just crying.
Yeah.
I use my turn to cry.
All right, Axe is going to use his turn to rib punch you again.
Is it a free action to cry?
My bonus
Free
action
action.
to nipple.
It depends on how long it is.
Bulk looks down at his feet. When did I get yellow shoes?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Anyways.
So you all go to sleep. All of you have a rough night, like I said previously. And we're going to start with Charlie. Charlie, you wake back up in the cell. You don't know how long it's been. You can't tell. Bulk and Skull are still in the hallways. They keep swapping positions every now and again. But you feel like you got enough sleep.
Is my health back up to full?
Yeah, anyone else who was missing health, pump your health back up. You're all back to full health. Any personal power, go ahead and add your personal power that you get per day, your power regen, and add that back as well.
Nice.
Charlie, your willpower is still shattered, so any smarts and willpower checks will be a snag.
Okay. Well, stop trying to be smart. Thought I've learned that lesson before, but I'm just gonna do what other people tell me to do.
You hear the footsteps come eventually at some point,
Oh shit.
and he just walks through the bars. No opening it, just walks straight through them and gets you in a corner. Where is the ship?
I don't know. We just teleport down. Like, how would I know? I don't know coordinates, man.
You're lying!
Oh, what?
He already looked through his mind.
I'm telling you, it's. I can tell you right now, it's probably in space. Does that help?
You had friends touch down last night. One of them put a crack in my barrier. And their ship is not in orbit.
Man, don't you have like billions of like Stingwingers that can fly around looking for these things?
This is not going to be a punch. He is going to kick you square in the face.
You're not very smart.
That's what he says right before he takes the boot to the face.
Are you gonna let him do this? Since you don't want it to be.
Do I put my arms up to block it? Like, how the fuck do I stop a Psycho Ranger kick to the face?
If he doesn't hit you, we will say that you either block it or you dodge it, and his foot hits the wall. So, what is your?
I'm so scared to dodge.
Do you want to block or do you want to evade? I'll give you the choice: evasion or toughness.
It's even on both. It doesn't matter. It's 14 for both.
14 it is.
Let's do toughness.
So he fails. You put your hands up. You put your hands up, and you don't take damage. He does hit you, but you put your arms up and you block it, and then he just gets more frustrated. He's gonna pull out his axe, but first he's gonna attempt. He's gonna attempt to grapple you. You're gonna use your evasion. He's gonna do a might check against your evasion. That's a 14.
Yeah.
He does not grab you.
I spin around. Can I say that like I'm like over here now or something?
Yeah, you spin around, you get out of his grasp. Now he's getting really frustrated.
Dude,
and
stop! Just chill, man.
Now I have to use his.
Go bother them.
I have to use his hang-up Psychic Scars. He has failed twice in a row. I roll a 1d6, applying the result of his hang-up.
On this dude. I'm about to morph and beat the shit out of this dude. He's getting on my fucking nerves.
Charlie, I'm so sorry.
What is that? What is a
What is that? What does that mean?
Charlie, he gets
Tabby.
super frustrated. In front of the gate, an ice wall appears, and it gets really cold as he quickly, with a blue energy around him, loses his control and his frustration, and he turns into his monster form.
Oh shit!
So, Charlie, you now have a white ice wall blocking your way out.
And there's so I'm stuck between that thing and an ice wall. Tight.
Yeah. So he's going to. He doesn't have a basic punch.
It's all killing punches, isn't it?
It's just it's all ice cold and sharp talons.
I've rolled into a ball again, and I'm just like crying.
He misses you and effectively hits the own ice wall he's created as you quickly duck down back into the fetal position.
Stop dodging me, you little shit! Oh, I'm so sorry!
Making him even more frustrated.
And then the wall from behind just hear, "What's the matter, Axe? You can't hit a kid? I think you're losing your touch."
Stay out of this, man. This is between me and...
I mean, I should have known better.
Over here.
After all, the two guards of your massive prison in here are Bulk and Skull. I'm starting to think you weren't ever just regularly psychotic, intimidating. I think you've gone loony. You've lost your damn mind. All this hope of new Blue Rangers, you can't control yourself. And in the end, you're probably just going to piss off your brother. And we both know how that's going to go. Axe is now no longer focused on you. He's turning back to his psycho form.
Oh, okay.
He's turned back to his psycho form. The ice wall has disappeared, and he shuts out angrily as he makes his way around. He goes in here into the other room behind you. He's doing his usual thing of intimidation, and the guy's just like, I don't know, Axe. You kind of got me chained up. It's kind of not fair. You gave the Magna Defender a turn. How about you give me one? You wouldn't last. Let's see if he can persuade Axe. And Axe is just like, you really think I have to rely on Virgil for everything? I'll show you. And he snaps his fingers, and you hear all the chains loosen. You hear rustling. And let's see if this mystery man can get his way. He's trying to place Axe in a particular position. You hear rustling and everything, and then Axe comes pummeling through the wall as he comes down, as the figure reaches his hand out of the darkness.
I hand him the morpher.
You hand him the morpher, and he steps into the light.
Is it time?
Yeah, it's morphin time. Black Dragon.
Oh shit! I'm stunned for a little bit, and then I go, "Oh yeah, companions convert. Yellow house cat." I don't like that his visor's red. I don't like that the ring is red. I don't like that he looks like a bad Tommy.
I don't care. I am in love with this man.
I'm side by side with Tommy, and we just fucking morphed.
Axe gets up off his ass. This is a trick. Both of you tricked me. This will not stand.
It wasn't hard.
Shut up! Axe, I think we both knew you were going to lose. You don't mess with Lord Dragon.
I'm gonna use my. Can I use my just? I want to ready in action that if he tries to escape, I use my aura pull to pull him towards Tommy.
Pull yourself.
Pull him towards me, but then like direct him towards my new ally. If he tries to get up and escape.
Axe or Draken?
Axe.
Okay.
And I don't like that you call him Draken.
I had to go and change his name to question marks for those persuasion and might checks. All right, so you have morphed. This man who you thought was Tommy Oliver has declared himself as Lord Draken.
Yeah.
You can roll a smarts check base to see if you have ever heard that name before. Okay, so you remember that Orion had brought this name up once when talking about Billy and someone else who had shattered the grid.
Cool.
You do not know anything else. He's Tommy Oliver. You know he's Tommy Oliver.
I just unmorph and start crying again in the fetal position.
But so as y'all are about to potentially engage Axe, we are going to go back to the boys.
I'm so distraught. I'm so fucking distraught.
It's okay. This is going to be one of those moments, both in and out of character, where it's like a mark me down as scared and horny.
Mark me down
if we get to meet
as
Lord Draken,
I'm
like
not
out of
okay.
character. I'm so excited, but I know this is a bad thing. It's so bad, but I'm just like, oh my god.
Y'all wake up. The wind is no longer bellowing. Everything seems to have calmed down. It's not as cold outside if you check. But as y'all get ready to go and everything, y'all feel something. You can't tell what it's coming from. But Luke, especially being a leader, you get the feeling two people just morphed somewhere. You don't get a vision, but you get a glimpse of Charlie turning into his yellow house cat somewhere you don't know where it is.
Charlie's alive still.
Then we gotta move.
We do. Let's go get that sword. Luke's gonna scoop the cat up.
Just put him in your pack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Luke scoops the cat up, puts him in his pack, and leaves the little top unzipped.
Meow.
So
we go.
So y'all start heading towards the north. Y'all are still fine. It appears the Stingwingers are busy elsewhere. Y'all start to walk through the rubble. Y'all can see a giant crack in Terra Venture. It doesn't take much to think that y'all saw Terra Venture on the outside. This probably goes into the ground underneath Terra Venture. It's not a hard assumption to make. It is a giant crevice that leads deep, deep down. You can feel the cold coming up from underneath it.
That's where he's at. I'm willing to bet money that he's underneath Terra Venture.
We gotta find this sword, Luke.
I know. But I have a feeling that whoever it is we're dealing with here is probably underneath this. I mean, unless we run into something, I assume we make it to the sword unaccosted.
Yes, it seems the Steamwingers are busy. It's not hard to think. Maybe they're out there dealing with Orion and your friends, or they're somewhere else. There not seem to be any Stingwingers in y'all's vicinity,
Okay.
and y'all make it.
Sword in the Stone music starts playing. Is that boy? I think I know that sword.
Javi.
Javier just picked the sword and the stone up together.
Yeah, that's
So as y'all approach, you see a skeleton of a man wearing what appears to be clothes of some sort, blue long sleeves on the top, some black pants, faded, gone. He seems this was his last stand before he encased this sword in stone. This sword at its hilt, where the handles are in the circular area, in the center, a similar shape, almost the exact same. It's the gorilla face of the gorilla y'all had seen in the zoo. Javier,
Mhm.
this sword calls to you.
all right. I'm gonna try to pull it out.
To pull the sword from the stone will be a might check combined with an animal handling check. That's really good, actually. Now roll a might check. Javier, you reach
Yeah.
in. The first pull, you
Oh,
quite
22.
don't do it. Then you re-get your grip, and you start to think to yourself, you've lifted heavy things. That thing didn't fucking budge, And you were like, I don't know if I can pull it again. And then you hear a voice from someone you don't know that just says, you have to pull the sword. It's the only way to beat him. You have to do it. And you think about Charlie, wherever he is, probably in some snow cavern or some snow cave, freezing his ass off, probably getting beat to death. And that enrages you. And the sword likes the strength that you gain from that. It likes your strength as you triumphantly pull it from the stone. You raise it in the air, and on your left arm appears the transmorpher. And the dial is set to blue.
I was like, can I go ahead and morph into it?
You can. The voice says to you, you did it. You pulled it. Now you have to say, and you can see it in your mind, a person moving their arm, making their left arm go up in a motion closer to the right side, tapping two fingers on it when the dials turn to blue and saying, go, Galactic.
So he does the motion and then says, "Go Galactic!"
And you turn into the blue Lost Galaxy Ranger or Quasar Ranger. And the moment you morph, you can now feel the gorilla. You can feel him, see into his memories, know the pain he has endured, his fellow Galactabees dying of being abused by the blue Psycho Ranger Axe. And you have put it together that he is the one who has Charlie.
Javier's just not gonna say a word. Just clench his hands, and he's just gonna. We're just gonna walk away, back towards. He can feel where they are now, right?
He feels the gorilla. He can't tell where Charlie is.
Oh,
But now
okay.
he has the gorilla says you now have what you need to free him.
Okay. But we got what we needed. I guess let's go. We go. We run. We are booking it. I'm so sorry, kitty cat. Please don't puke on me.
So y'all start to head back to the zoo. Time passes. Everything else seems busy around you. Y'all can feel something's going on your way there. Same for you, Charlie. As you're standing there about to fight the Blue Psycho Ranger Lord Draken, y'all feel another boom, and it sounds like cracking, major cracking.
Orion's making it through the barrier. We can do this.
And y'all get back to the gorilla.
So is this kind of like with the mammoth one? I can like kind of like almost telepathically talk to it.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna
You can even speak it out loud if you want to.
Okay. Here, I'm gonna ask him to come here. Let me get that off you now.
He gets down. He turns the chain around so it's right in front of him, and he holds it out.
All right, he's Javier with the sword is gonna swing with all his might to cut through it.
And it does just that. It breaks it. And as it breaks, the collar too disintegrates. As you swing it down on the chain, the collar also gives way. And as the collar gives way, he stands back up with you in front of him. And you feel the sword start to glow. And you can hear a voice telling you to point it up high in the sky.
All right, Javier's gonna strike a pose with the sword pointed high into the sky.
As the sword acquires a beam that connects to the gorilla, his lashes, his scars, his fur all starts to heal as he is brought back to full strength. And he puts his hand down on the ground and offers y'all to get in his hand. And you can hear him kind of say, he'll help you find your friend a lot quicker since he's bigger.
I'm gonna immediately like beckon Luke over, and we're gonna get in his hand.
He'll get in his hand and doesn't climb. He Hulk jumps out of the zoo, holding his other hand over his hand so that way y'all are in a nice tight space. He hits the ground, and then after that he holds his hand back open so y'all can see as he starts to walk, trying to find where your friend is at. And y'all hear another thud, another big boom, a little more cracking. As y'all start to try to make your way towards Charlie, it is now back to you.
Can I try to convince Lord Draken that now that he's out, can he please give me back my morpher and go find another morpher somewhere else? I'm not gonna be able to turn into a Black Frog Ranger.
I mean, he said he would help you get out. I'm not gonna say you're gonna get it back or not, but you also know what Orion told you, so I don't think that's for later. We'll figure that out later.
Can
Just
I
be in
try
the.
to get it off of?
You want to try to take a morpher away from Lord Draken?
Charlie's not smart.
Charlie is smarter than that.
I
Right.
feel like Charlie is smarter than that, though.
Charlie's not doing it.
So y'all are standing in front of the Blue Psycho Ranger as he pulls out his axe. Is there anything you would like to do before y'all potentially get in this fight?
I'm gonna call out to Bulk and Skull. You guys either need to get out of here or help us. Things are about to get hairy, so I just warned them.
Roll me persuasion with advantage. Oh, damn. So that's the difficulty was a 4, by the way.
Yeah, Bulk and Skull are easy to manipulate.
So Bulk and Skull are just like, what have we become? I mean, we're okay before. I mean, we're bad people. Maybe he's right. Fuck this guy. And Bulk and Skull are going to bum rush Psycho Blue and drag him out of y'all's way, chunk him in a cell, and then block his way. As they just start ganging up, and then Lord Draken's gonna be like, they gave us our opportunity. It's time to get out of here.
Okay, I'll follow your lead.
As y'all start running out.
Hulk and Skull are dead now because of Charlie's persuasion.
Most likely, yes. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that.
Yeah, they said they would die if he died.
So
So they know what they're doing.
So y'all come out down here where Lord Draken is on the right.
Damn, it's a whole ass fucking dungeon in here.
It is. It's Axe's lair. We are at a good place. Y'all have gotten out of Axe's grasp for now. Luke and Javier are heading out with the Gorilla Galactabeast to try to find you. Tonight, this is where session will end.
Oh my god.
Axe is coming after you, and they are on their way. I'm so sorry.
You were so evil. You're so evil to me.
It was just bad luck. You were the last one to go through the barrier.
Oh, that could have been Javi. Like if I thought about going through the barrier second, like just like blindly. So that could have been Javi that dealt with all this shit instead of me.
Javi would have died trying to fist fight Psycho Blue in his underpants.
I guess that's true. I guess
He would have just started stripping for intimidation.
Javi would have potentially died because it's Javier.
I gave the
And
Psycho
become more
Ranger
corrupted in
all
the
the
process.
information. I gave Lord Draken all the information. I have lost my morpher. I peed my pants. This was I had my face stepped on twice. I had my ribs almost broken. This was the worst. That's awful.
I'm so sorry. It was just bad luck. I had it set. Whoever goes through last is fucked.